Do basic solutions also have plus ion?
No, no.
Yes.
OH.
Yes. Basic solutions also contain H plus ions, even though they are basic, because in these solutions, concentration of hydroxide ion, OH minus ion, is much higher than the H plus ions. The solution may be basic, but H plus ion be present, which is less than the hydroxide ion. What is the common name of the compound calcium oxychloride? Bleaching powder, CaOCl2. What will happen if a solution of sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated?
Hydrogen. Sodium hydrogen carbonate. I think so.
Carbon dioxide is produced along with sodium carbonate also produced. Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2 gas. Write an equation to show the reaction between plaster of Paris and water. Plaster of Paris and water. Formula for plaster of Paris?
CaSO4 2H2O.
CaSO4 half H2O plus 1 half H2O gives CaSO4 2H2. Calcium sulfate dihydrate is gypsum. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate is plaster of Paris. Next. What happens when zinc carbonate is heated in the absence of oxygen?
Zinc oxide is
In the absence of oxygen.
zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide is
Zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. This is known as calcination. What happens when a mixture of copper oxide and copper sulfide is heated? Copper oxide and copper sulfide is heated.
Copper and H2 gas is
Cu2O plus Cu2S.
gives Cu2.
Copper oxide and copper sulfide is heated. Cu plus SO2. Copper plus sulfur dioxide. During extraction of metals, electrolytic refining is used to obtain pure metals. Which material will be used as anode and cathode for refining of silver metal by this process?
Pure metal is anode.
Anode is impure black of silver metal is anode, cathode is pure thin strip of silver metal.
Silver sulfate solution is
Electrolyte, silver nitrate solution. In this electrolytic cell, where do we get pure silver after passing electric current?
Cathode.
At cathode. Very good. A teacher asks her students to identify a metal M The teacher gives them the following clues to help them. Its oxide reacts with both hydrochloric acid and NaOH. The metal is
Zinc and aluminum oxide.
aluminum. Metal is aluminum. It does not react with hot or cold water but reacts with steam. Aluminum. It can be extracted by electrolysis of its ore.
Aluminum.
Write the chemical equation for the reaction of the metal with hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide respectively.
Aluminum oxide, hydrochloric acid, out NaOH.
Aluminum plus hydrochloric acid is aluminum chloride plus hydrogen. Aluminum plus sodium hydroxide plus water. Sodium NaLOH whole 4. 2NaAlOH whole 4 plus H2. The thermit process is used for repairing cracks in The thermit process is used for repairing cracks in railway track on site. Write the equation for the reaction taking place in the process.
Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives Al2O3 plus Fe.
Name the compound CH3CHO. Hyper name CH3CHO.
CH3CHO.
Ethanol. CH3CH2OH. CH2OH. Ethanol. Which of the following are alkenes? CH4, C2H6, C2H4, C3H6,
C3H6.
C3H6, C2H4.
Okay.
Which organism takes in food particles by forming finger-like projections? In which unicellular organism food is taken in at a specific spot? Paramecium. Where do parasites live to obtain their nutrition? Host. Name the juice secreted by the largest gland of the body.
Bile juice.
What are the finger-like projections on the inner lining of the small intestine called? Name the structure that regulates the exit of undigested waste material from the body of human beings.
Large intestine. Large intestine की
Name the structure that regulates the exist of undigested waste materials from the body of human beings. Large intestine. What is the role of acid in your stomach?
To
provide an
bacteria,
acidic medium to
make the food acidic and kill the bacteria present in the food.
It makes
acidic
them.
medium for pepsin. For the creation of pepsin.
How are fats digested in our bodies?
When bile juice come to the small intestine,
Bile juice comes.
from the liver to the small intestine,
It
fat,
convert
large fat globules convert to small globules.
By the process of emulsification.
Emulsification of fat.
Bile also makes the medium alkaline. The walls of the small intestine secretes intestinal juice which contain enzyme lipase. It finally converts the emulsified fat into fatty acid and glycerol. What is the role of saliva in the digestion of food?
To
Convert
convert
carbohydrate
carbohydrate
into
into
sugar.
sugar. So simpler sugar.
Starch to maltose and also lubricate the food before swallowing. Moisten, soft and moisten the food. How is small intestine designed to absorb digested food?
Finger-like projection
structure
wall.
and placed.
long tubular cloth.
The inner lining of small intestine is covered by millions of tiny finger-like projections
Called villi.
called villi. These villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. The inner lining of stomach is protected by one of the following from hydrochloric acid, pepsin, salivary amylase, mucus.
Mucus. Write down the current through a resistor is increased by 200%. Is increased by 200%. Find the power dissipated. Find the increase in the power dissipated. Increased power dissipated is dash. If the current through a resistor is increased by 200%, page can turn which grace Sumya? कौन होगा
9
कौन 9
increased
9 माने
9x
ସେମିତି କେମିତି ହେଲା 9x?
ମାନେ 9 ଗୁଣ ବଢିଛି।
କେମିତି ଜାଣିଲୁ? କଣ? ଆରେ ଜାଣିଲୁ କେମିତି?
200% ବଢିଗଲା।
If the current through a resistor is increased by 200%, the increase in power dissipated will be dash. Question. At first the current is I. Write down. Current is I. Resistance equal to R. Power P equal to I square R. I square R. Next, when power is increased by 200%, when the current increased by 200%, the increased current equal to I plus 200 plus 200% of I plus 200% of I. New current I dash equal to I plus 200% of I. Then I plus 200 by 100 into I.
2i
I plus 2I. That is 3I. The increased current amount is 3I. Then increased power I dash ro square into R. I dash means 3I ro square into 9I square R. Then increased power 9I square R minus
8i square
I square R. 8I square R. But increase percentage 8I square R by I square R. Change in velocity, change increase the amount by original amount into 100. 800%. Similar type of questions for you. Write down the question. Another question. If the current through a resistor is increased by 100%, if the current through a resistor is increased by 100%, the increase in power dissipated will be dash. The increase in power dissipated will be dash. P equal to I square R. When current is increased by 100%, then the new current will be 2I. Then the new power will be 2I square into R, 4I square R. Change in power 4I square R minus I square R, that is 3I square R. Increase percentage is 3I square R by I square R into 100. I square R cancel, 3 into 100, 300%. The SI unit of a magnetic field.
Tesla.
Name 3 properties of magnetic field lines.
It does not
Never
intersect.
intersect each other. They are
They're parallel to each other.
They originated from north
North
pole
to south
of a magnet and
or
its south
concentric
pole.
circle.
These are closed and continuous curve. State Fleming's left hand rule.
I mean,
The thumb represent
it is the
force,
force is the law that represents
Represent
it is the
current.
Current.
Represent current and the index
executed directly.
magnetic.
এটা হচ্ছে ফোর্স না এটা হচ্ছে ম্যাগনেটিক ফিল্ড
if you hold a current carrying straight wire in the grip of your
Right hand.
right hand, left hand,
It is the law that describes the relation between the force, magnetic field, and
And
the
current.
current. The
Thumb represent
thumb
the-
represents the force, the forefinger represents magnetic field, and the middle finger represents the current.
who can say clear?
The thumb represent here. Left hand or the right hand?
Left hand,
the
Fleming's
current.
left.
It is the current flowing through a current.
And thumb represent force.
The thumb represents force.
It states that if the forefinger, thumb, and middle finger of your left hand are stretched mutually perpendicular to
each other
each other, such that the forefinger represents
Magnetic
magnetic field, middle represent
current.
direction of current, thumb represent force. Maxwell's right hand thumb rule.
The thumb represents the current and the
Full statement.
If you
Hold the current carrying straight wire in your right hand in such way
That fingers.
the thumb points the direction of current,
current
and the curl of the
curl of
fingers represent the magnetic field lines.
if X and Y are the male and female reproductive parts of a flower, respectively. Name X and Y.
X is
Stamen.
stamen.
Y is
Pollen. Ovary.
pistil or carpels. Give example of a plant that has both male and female reproductive parts in a flower.
Hibiscus,
lily,
rose.
rose,
Why does the small and single-celled animals such as amoeba not require any respiratory pigment?
Because they do not
the
have
mode of intake of
They do not require any respiratory pigment because the volume of their body is so small that oxygen can be introduced quickly into the whole body by the process of a diffusion. What are the consequences of binding of hemoglobin with carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide binds very strongly with hemoglobin in the blood and prevent it from carrying oxygen to the brain and other parts of the body. So it is advisable to away from the smoke of incomplete burn,
yes,
woods, coals, etc. Incomplete burn woods or coals produce carbon monoxide,
monoxide, yes.
which is very dangerous to us. Why? when carbon monoxide comes with blood,
It binds
the hemoglobin the hemoglobin of the blood binds the carbon monoxide, so that what will erupt?
blood.
Oxygen will not reach the
Blood.
different parts of the body. Give the path traveled by a molecule of oxygen when it enters the body. Nostrils, trachea, bronchiole, alveoles, blood, and last is tissue or cell. Why does the air passage not collapse when there is no air in it?
By the rings of cartilage.
Trachea is supported by
Rings of cartilage.
which prevents its collapsing in the absence of air. Give one point which is common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration.
They both from starch energy. So they both from active molecules. Active molecules and energy.
Both oxidize the glucose. Both
Oxidize the glucose.
a yellowish colored compound X is a photosensitive material. On exposure to sunlight, it gives a gray substance Y and brown fumes of a gas Z. Identify X, Y, and Z. How will you obtain X from the nitrate salt of Y?
Bromine.
Silver bromide.
Silver bromine.
When exposed to sunlight, it forms silver and bromine. Silver chloride kept in a china dish. It turns gray in sunlight. Write the color of silver chloride when it was kept in the china dish. White. The color of silver chloride was white when it is kept in the china dish. Name the type of a chemical reaction take place and write the chemical equation.
Photolytic decomposition.
State one use of the reaction.
To black and white.
Black and white photography.